Good day, EWTN watchers. This is Father Richard Holong from Kingston, Jamaica, and we have a program of lay people who are living out their faith and seeking the Lord and discovering the Lord and filled with a sense of wanting to serve more, to have their lives become more and more purposeful, and to be able to contribute in the building of the kingdom more and more. We have had 3 priests on our program so far, and now we have 2 lay people, 2 women, and also a deacon. Welcome, Bill.
Welcome.
Will you say a word about yourself?
I'll be happy to. I'm Deacon Bill Garrett. I've been ordained a deacon now for 8 years. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I work for a Catholic hospital in Atlanta.
Yeah, what church are you at?
I'm part of All Saints Catholic Church in Atlanta.
For how long?
I've been with All Saints for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
I was previously with a neighboring church, but they had 8 deacons there, and All Saints didn't have any deacons. So I felt a call to go over and to work with All Saints.
Well, we have no deacons.
Okay.
Maxine, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is, welcome. My name is Maxine Leafat. I'm Jamaican by birth. I'm living in Florida right now.
What part of Florida?
Lake Worth in West Palm Beach.
Uh-huh.
And we moved there from New York about 4 years ago. I was working for a publisher, Timing, Newsweek, Hearst, Hachette, for the past 25 years or so. And I just happened to be down in Florida for a party, found a house, liked it, and then moved sort of, you know, abruptly. But my husband and I and my kids are grown. My background, right now I am working on a Doctor of Ministry degree from Barry University. I'm working on my thesis. I'm a spiritual director. I am heavily involved with St. Vincent de Paul Society, working with the poor. And I've always thought of going on a mission somewhere, somehow, sometime, but nothing concrete until a friend of mine mentioned that she comes to MOP every year. And I said, okay, just let me know when you're going again. And she mentioned she'd be going in February of this year. And I thought, okay, this is a good time to get what I had been thinking of in motion, and made plans to come, and here I am.
Okay, great. And you left behind your husband.
My husband is at home.
To follow Christ.
Yes. He's at home, and you know, very happy that I was able to fulfill one of my bucket lists. This is definitely on my bucket list, and I'm here. So I'm so happy that I was able to make it this time.
Great. Stace,
Yes.
what's your last name?
Cook. I'm Stacy
Stacy Cook, okay.
And I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've lived there for about 3 years. And I work as a mechanical engineer.
Really? Such a young lady. What's your age?
29.
29?
Yeah, although
you
your
look
brother's-
like about 16 or 17.
You're about the 12th person to tell me that since I've been down here.
Okay, good. Yes. What brought you here?
Well, there's a group from my parish that goes every year. And
Is this Father Tim? Tim
at
Reed's
St.
parish?
Anne's.
St. Anne's, okay. Yes.
So I was able to make it this year. So
What brought you down here?
I just wanted to, I've never been on a mission trip before, and I just wanted to experience that, I wanted to try and help people, but I think they've really helped me a lot, and it's been a great experience in learning how to love and
learning how to love.
Yeah.
Huh? Yes. And we have 40 volunteers here this weekend.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's just really wonderful.
Yeah, it
Yes. Is it because of the cold, or is it?
Probably. We've gotten a lot of snow this year.
Yes. I'm sure you did it because of the Lord. And we have here the many of our friends here who have been working with the poor this weekend, and have been pouring themselves out, and they didn't go to the beach. They seem to come here and just want to work with the poor. Are they a crazy set of people? Deacon Bill, tell us, how many times have you been here?
This is my second trip
Second
to the
trip.
Missionaries of the Poor.
Yeah. Why did you come again?
The reason I came again is mostly because Kitty Moots kept on inviting me to come again.
Uh-huh.
And I had such a wonderful experience the first trip, and I really felt it helped me with my spirituality and continuing to develop my own personal spirituality. And it was a great experience spending so much time in prayer with the brothers. It wasn't what I anticipated when I first came down here. I really anticipated doing mission work, working with people almost all the time, and then going home and eating and then going to bed. But we spent a lot of time in prayer, and that was a very rewarding part of the experience for me. So I wanted to come back and kind of as a preparation for Lent, spend some time doing that again. But I also had great memories of the brothers and great memories of the residents. And there were some of them, Donovan and Sheldon and Jesse and others, Roger, in particular, that I wanted to come and just kind of reassociate with.
Yes. Well, tell me, living at the monastery, would you find that something a little bit strange? Wouldn't you prefer to be out in a hotel and then, or you like living at the monastery?
The cold water and the showers, I could do without. but no, I mean, it's part of the experience. You can't have the experience and live in a hotel. So living in the monastery is clearly just part of the overall experience, and clearly gets you closer to the residents, closer to the brothers, and closer to Christ.
Right. Okay. Good. In your experience of both the brothers living in the slums as well, and working from day to day, what did you find that you discovered, or what did you do first of all? You could tell our EWTN audiences, and do you find it important for your Christian life?
Yeah, I worked at the Faith Center the first day. Second day we went to Good Shepherd, and then the third day I did painting at the Holy Innocents building that hopefully the next time I come down will be complete, and there'll be children and mothers in there. And all of those were important but vastly different. With Holy Innocents there was no interaction with any of the residents. There was only the brothers there and some workers. But it was important because you knew that the end product would be saving lives, giving mothers an option in terms of what to do with their children. And so that was important for me to be able to make that contribution. With the other two centers, we interacted with the residents, and the residents are what it's all about. It gave us a chance to see the face of Christ in each of these individuals in the work that we got to do. As we were washing their faces, preparing them for Mass this morning, the big smiles that were on so many of their faces as we just got them ready to go to church was very rewarding for me to witness. And doing that all with the guidance of the brothers and all within the context of prayer was very nice to witness. I think that the Catholic Church has great teachings, social justice teachings, but it's not something that many of our church members know a lot about. And I think it would be important for the church to spend more time talking about Catholic social justice teachings. It's a great body of work that has been produced over years, over centuries. But it's not something that most of our parishioners at All Saints in the United States, in Atlanta, are exposed to. And I think the more we can expose people to those teachings, the better off the church will be, and the closer to Christ our parishioners will be.
So you feel that it's something important that parishioners should also experience, not just yourself as a deacon.
Oh, definitely. We have 14 people on this trip in addition to myself. One's a priest, and then the other 13 are lay people. And their being here is a great witness. And they'll go back to the parish and they'll talk about it. And so many other people will, in some ways, experience what we experience. But hopefully it'll also encourage other people to come back next year when we come down again.
Do you think that your parishioners living in such a different type of circumstance, I mean, you don't have this sort of ghetto, you don't have this sort of poverty. Do you think that it's a valuable experience for them also as lay people?
There's so many valuable experiences that they get as lay people. One of the challenges of a church in the United States, at least our church in our community, is people don't really get a chance to get to know each other. And when you spend 6 days living with somebody, having meals with them for 6 days, you're not with your family, you're with these people from your parish, it's a great bonding experience. So I think that's an important part of what this is all about.
So an experience of community, is that right? Yes, yes.
But it's also the kind of poverty we see in the United States, in Atlanta, is we see some homeless people. There's not a lot of homeless people in the community around our church, but there are homeless people not too far away in Atlanta. That poverty doesn't compare to the poverty and to the challenges that the people here in Jamaica have, and the people that you minister to and the brothers minister to. And having the experience of working with those individuals, I think, is very rewarding for all of our folks who made the trip down, and hopefully more people that will come down in future years.
Right. What do you think also, Maxine? You were in Jamaica.
Yes,
when you were
I
a
lived
girl,
here,
no?
yeah,
And you
but
left
I left in the 60s, and you hadn't started this until I was
in the
away.
80s,
yeah.
right.
So this is something very, very foreign, very new to me. I've never done anything like this before.
How did you find it?
I found it
disturbing?
Well, a little bit, but I found it, eye-popping, heart-opening, spirit-fulfilling, and just seeing the on one hand the humanity that's so physically and mentally challenged on one hand, and then on the other hand, the brotherhood that work with them and embrace this challenge, and the compassion and the sympathy and the respect for human life that I saw was really such a valuable influence on my own spirituality. It just gives me a whole different outlook on human life, respecting human life, no matter what form you find it. And I've never seen so many physically challenged in one space.
And homeless, totally
and homeless. Yes. And the brothers just totally stepping in, and this is what they do, and just taking care of, loving them completely. And I find that the gospel message is completely lived out. Feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, and those who are imprisoned by their own incapacity are taken care of. And that's so fulfilling. If the Catholic Church could perhaps embrace that philosophy or ideology and reach out as much as they can.
It's Christ,
yeah,
it's really Christ's Christ's message.
Yes, I find going out, instead of having people come into the church like you're doing, this brotherhood, they're going out into the community and to the centers and working with the people who really need, so much help, so much love. And while I was there, I could find that you could see the people that were there, the women that were there, they were aching for the human touch. They were reaching out and holding your hand and embracing you and leaning on your shoulder. And it was just amazing that, you know, they were doing that and needing that. Obviously, we all need love, but it was just amazing to see them. And they were always smiling. And you know, you see what they were going through, and you empathize with them. But yet, there was a smile on their face when they came into human contact. And that was really refreshing, you know, for me, and uplifting. And I forgot to mention one thing, Father. I imagine the church that I'm from is Saint Therese de Lisieux in Wellington. And Wellington, Florida.
Florida, okay.
And in working with St. Vincent de Paul, I do work with the poor, but never at this level. You know, we go out and we maybe pay the bills, give them some food, but here, these people are totally dependent on somebody, and you're there. The Brotherhood of Missionaries of the Poor are there to fulfill that need, and that's really very refreshing to see.
Right. It's incarnational.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
the presence of Christ.
Yeah.
When you all come and work with the people and are with them, and you touch them, and you feed them, and you clothe them, and you bathe them, and you
brush their teeth.
Brush their teeth, you cut their hair. All of this is really incarnational. Christ actually being present to the people.
Absolutely.
And you become Christ also. And I'm sure you also experience the Lord in them. Yes, yes, yes.
Because that message, you know, whatever you do to the least of these, you do to me. And that's what I was thinking of, you know, when I was, you know, cleaning the babies, or oiling them, or patting them, because they're all reaching out for you. You know, I was just thinking, you know, this is what Christ wants us to do. This is the message, you know.
Yes, yes.
Take care of those who need to be taken care of. And
the least of our brothers and sisters is with the way the scriptures describe it. But very often I find that the least is not so little, or least, you know, you find a richness and a beauty there that very often surprises you.
And I think if the world could be open, the rest of the world could be open to what's being done here in terms of both help and resources, that would be amazing. I mean, you could do so much more, but you know, thank God for all that you do.
Thank you, Maxine. Stace, what do you think? So you're going to give up your engineering and become a nun? Well,
That's
you think about
I've
it.
been asked a lot. Some of the brothers were asking us to join
the sisters.
The sisters that you were having.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Right. Well, tell us what your experience has been. Why did you come down here in the first place?
I don't know. I had heard good things about from the people that had come before. And I just thought it would be a good experience. So I came, and it has been wonderful. The women like you were saying, when we went into Jacob's Well or Lord's Place, as soon as you go through the door, the women just come up to you and hug you. All of them come up to you and just give you big hugs, and there's just so much love there and so much faith. It was wonderful. It was wonderful spending time with them, getting to talk with them, and just.
Do you think this is an important aspect of your faith, to have such experiences and to expose yourself to such radical poverty in many ways, Stacey?
Yeah, I think so. It's been very humbling.
Humbling, what do you mean?
Well, you were saying that to go out to the least of the people, but being here has made me personally feel like one of the least of the people.
You?
Yeah, because I'm just, I mean, because you see these people who have, you know, they don't have any possessions, they don't have anything really, you know, they don't have things that we typically would think is what you need to be happy, you know, and they're some of the happiest people I've met, you know. And
the happiest people, some of the happiest people you've met.
They really are.
Yes. Yes.
It's just been great. And
if I could just relate a little story that went with that point. when we were over at Good Shepherd, Donovan was talking. I was talking to Donovan, and Donovan's in a wheelchair and has limited arms, limited legs. But he said to me, "How come that the people in the United States have so much and yet are so unhappy?" And
he said that.
And people,
Donovan.
And people like himself, he said,
Uh-huh.
"How come we have so little, but yet we're so happy?"
Yeah.
And I thought that was very profound
Uh-huh.
for him to have said that.
But do you think that's true?
I do think that a lot of people in the United States are so caught up with material possessions that we lose sight of what's really important in our world.
Yes.
And I also think that the spirituality that the brothers bring to the whole mission is so important. I mean, it's not just that you're serving people in terms of their physical material needs. You're also serving their spiritual needs.
Yes.
And you're serving our spiritual needs too.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you. The brothers will be very happy to hear that.
Bethlehem was the one that touched me the most with the children. And there was something that the brother said that also touched me. He said, you have to treat them as if they were your own, with the same love and respect that you would your own children. And, you know, I pondered about that. And as I was attending to them and feeding them and, you know, oiling their hands, I thought, there's no other way to treat these kids than as if they were your own. You had to treat them that way. And I thought that was, you know, because you feel the compassion and the love, and you treat human beings especially these kids, and you do treat them, you know, in a certain way, as if they were your own children.
Yes, yes. Well, they are our own.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, there's a kind of a mystical union between us all.
Sure.
Once we understand that we're all God's children, and that all of us are bound together in the mystical body, and that very often those who seem to be very, very poor are called the least in the scriptures. They are the greatest in the kingdom of God. You know, I find that that's very often so. And I've been really caught up in that sense of mystery. Today after Mass, did you enjoy the Mass, by the way?
Yeah, it was spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
Can we import that Mass to the United States? It was a 2-hour Mass and no one left. No one left.
Actually, you didn't want to leave. You just, you know, wish it could go on for another 2 hours. It was just very amazing.
Is that the way you folks also felt about the Mass? You want to comment? You want to comment on it? Yes.
My name is Christina Hinton, and I'm also from the St. Anne's group from Charlotte. As far as the Mass today, it was absolutely amazing. Just the joy that was there, you know, as was said earlier, no one wanted to leave, and especially from the residents. I found when I was praying afterwards, after Mass, the residents kept coming up and wondering what I was doing, and they would come up and give me hugs or shake your hand, and there's just so much joy on their faces. Even from helping them get ready this morning. I had a chance to go back to Lord's Place, and I was there 3 days ago. So this morning to go back and help those residents get ready for Mass, they were thrilled to see us back. And I really enjoyed the opportunity to get to go back and show them, look, I came back and I care about you. But then to have them say as well, you know, knowing that I'm leaving tomorrow, you know, they each said, I love you, and I'm praying for you. And that's what I should be saying to them. So this whole trip has definitely taught me how to love, and
wonderful.
I didn't expect that.
Great, great, real. Well, thank you very much for for this visit. I mean, it's been wonderful for us too, you know, for the brothers and for the poor.
Thank you.
And we pray that, you know, as we go through, we'll continue to build bridges. I don't think you fully understand how meaningful it is for the poor, for the brothers, that we're not a separated church. There are two different churches, the First World Church and the Third World Church, but that we have brothers and sisters who are united with us in doing the works of Christ and building the kingdom of God. And by the way, the brothers have all said they want you to go to Uganda, Kenya, Philippines, Haiti, and even Indonesia.
We're ready.
All right, you'll lead the charge. God bless you all. Thanks very much for joining us this day.
Thank you. Thank you.